what I really want to share with you guys on this session as well is, this is the way we by default as an internal process will work with any virtual event content that we produce and the clients that we work with, that we encourage them to do. So let me just explain a little bit how that works. So you have your virtual event content, call it a 25 session over 4 days, or call it a webinar or a webinar series. Essentially, you're going to end up with one video piece of content, and then you ideally like to split that into several videos, whether they're long or short. But let's say you have one video, like this particular session that we're doing here today. I'm going to slice that and dice it into various sections. If you clearly noted, there is a sequence in the questioning that we've got. I just also wanted to highlight, I've got a particular framework that I have here that I know exactly I'm going to give to my team so they can split it accordingly, right? In fact, we work very closely with Karim on that, and they're kind of helping us a lot on that aspect. So we're taking the video into questions that you've asked during the session. If you had a panel, for instance, or if you had one or two individuals, you will create a video with the relevant and different questions that anyone answered, right? So that allows you to create short form content, that you have a video, you'll put it on YouTube, you can put it on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or whatever platform you use. And as a result of that, you put that into a blog post on your website, right? With, guess what? A summary, right? The other aspect that you would also do is that you create images with quotes, whether it's something that Karim said, like for instance, right now we're going to create an image quote or an image summary where we have the top 5 most important ways in which you can split virtual event content, and then we're going to release that, either put it on a carousel on LinkedIn or actually create 5 different posts on LinkedIn. Yeah. Of course, you need a summary article. Why? Because to Paul and other people's comments on the session, we're talking about video. People are going to consume that video, but some people want to read it. But also, the most important thing, Your Majesty, Google, and all the search engines might really want to know what this is all about. So that's the reason why you want to create a summary. There's a big thing that you don't really want to do, the transcriptions, because transcriptions are boring, right? So you really need to create like a summary article on what you've done. So, and probably Caroline might be able to send you something that what we've done before, some of the previous webinars that we've done before. You will see it very clearly. Or if you want to wait, we're going to release a blog post next week with this framework and exactly with examples of how that's done. So you create a summary article, and also you create, you might be able to create a blog post. Now, what is the difference between a blog post and a summary article? A summary article just simply tells you the top 5 things that were discussed on the session, or whatever you think, like the top takeaways. The blog post is a little bit more in-depth. So if you see the example that we've shared just now, where we were promoting, so if you notice the link that we've done with the producing the video, we knew that like we were not going to expand too much time on it, but we wanted to create informational video about an informational blog post about what is the stack, what are the tools that you can use to promote that kind of video content easily and everything. And surprise, surprise, you're going to find out that we just put a call to action there to this particular webinar. Not only we released that last week as means to generate registrations for this event, but now more importantly, that is going to help us create evergreen content that we're going to do moving forward. So over the next 6 months, we're going to continue doing marketing campaigns with the quotes, with these videos, with the summary article, and with additional blog posts to drive more engagement. And again, I wanted to highlight the name of the game in this particular game to win and to beat your competition, that blue ocean thing, is to really beat, just to really enhance that 3x potentially that you're able to generate in terms of awareness or leads or registrations to that virtual event. And finally, there's this other thing which it requires a little bit more extra work. I take that, and you can also create what you call audiograms, right? So which are excerpts with audio without kind of motion graphics or anything of nuggets of information that were shared, and they work very, very well. You can also convert that piece. We can convert all these webinars into an audio podcast, although I have certain views about how that's done and whether it's good or not. But you might see that now many podcasters are now doing YouTube interviews where they're just basically having the interview, and they might as well release it on video as well as the podcast. And then the other element is the animated text videos, because they just kind of are not as difficult to produce from the point of view of video recording and everything. But then you can have animated text videos with either pictures, text, or anything like that. So this is the framework that we use ourselves, the framework that we help clients to work with, and in fact, the way in which we work with Tribe Tactics to enhance this element. You don't have to do that yourself. That's kind of why companies like us, companies like Tribe Tactics exist.